Hi, and welcome to Dragon's Insanity Chat. It's something new, something different, and frankly, I think it's necessary. There are going to be subjects brought up that you're going to be like, why? I'm going to say things that you're going to not be happy about, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Henceforth, why it's called Insanity Chat. See, for me personally, right now, I deal with a lot of mental problems. I have a lot of them. I'm depressed. I have major recurrent depressive disorder, something like that. I have dissociate and things like that. I have multiple personalities, and I have depression, anxiety, PTSD, issues sleeping. You know, the works. I literally have all the makings of being quite insane, which is okay with me. Um, See, the thing is, though, I hate saying I hate saying me. I hate saying all of that too, because frankly, I don't agree with it. We sounds better. Us. That's the type of thing that makes me feel better. And it makes more sense to me saying us. We. Anything that revolves and involves more than one person. I mean, it makes sense, so more than anything, because we're all more than one person. We're a combination of two people to make one. So it makes sense to me that we are multiple people inside one body, one mind. And the world's getting crazier too. We're getting more quote unquote humane, human rights, things along those lines. And frankly, that's all a bunch of bullshit. It's just fucked. The more humane we become, the worse the world becomes. Why? Because you have criminals who do not care. They did not care to begin with and everything, but we're making it easier on them. How? Because human rights, quote unquote, I should say, quote unquote, human rights there. They get treated humanely. They act like animals and they should be treated like animals. I think they need to bring back public executions too, even. Why? Because we're fucking paying for all these killers, child rapists, murderers, rapists of any degree, anybody doing violent crimes and everything. We're paying for them to be locked up in prison. Taxpayers' dollars are going to keep these people and animals locked up for years, even. And all they have to worry about is three hots and a cot. They get told when to eat, when to sleep, when to go out into the yard and exercise, everything else like that. And they have pretty good health, you know, coverage inside prison. Yeah, that seems fair. And you have the prison guards who have to keep track of all of them too. They have no choice but to watch them put their lives on the line in a way too, because when the riots start, or if riots do start, the guards are there to put an end to it. So instead, no, fuck that. They're not humans anymore. They gave up that right. They gave up that ability to be called human as soon as they killed the first person. So lock them up outside, put them in stocks, things like that. Keep them there for a week. Make sure they don't sleep or anything either if you have to. Who cares if they sleep? No, you're not going to feed them. You're not going to give them food. Keep them for a week. Have the source of their execution and their death in front of them too. That way, every time they wake up, they see it. When they go to sleep, that's the last thing they see. That's all there is. put them on display. Why? Because it's going to screw with them. After a week of that, oh, you can bet they're going to be wound up tighter than anything as well. They're gonna have problems. They're gonna start freaking out even worse. But after a week, they're not gonna have the strength to fight you anymore either. Really, they're gonna be weak, fatigued. Chain them up again. Slowly lead them up to the damn thing. Force them down on their knees, heads down, and everything, and let that blade fucking fall. And put it on display for the public too. Why? Because people are too fucking content now. Everybody's going, oh, da da la la, da da la. Human rights, people are, da da la, people are people. No, fuck that shit. They're not people. They're only saying that because they didn't have anybody doing anything to them or their family. The moment, the moment though, one of these fucking things and people do something to their family, oh, their tone changes 180. String them up, da 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 da, all the other negative shit that they were condemning not long ago. So no, 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 they're not people. They're not human. They're just animals that need to be put down and need to make a spectacle of it. You got people who are in prison for some of the dumbest shit ever. And then you have people in prison for some of the best things ever and shit they've done. And they need to be in there. All the death row inmates, so get fucking 5-star hotel bullshit. Stop doing that. Put them out in the weather. Have them locked up in the stockade type deal. Let them see the instrument of their death for 7 days. And then do it. Televise it. Let people see. And say, before you do it, just feel like this is not a human. This is an animal, a rabid animal. It needs to be put down, and that's what we're doing. Now you have people who are like, oh, well, what about death row inmates for da da la? Not as violent crimes as, murder and shit like that, rapists. Castrate them. Period. Chemically castrate them, and or medically castrate them. Not even chemically, medically castrate them in every sense of the word. Well, then you're taking away that law. Oh, oh, so you're worried about taking away who they are and everything. The person who literally raped a 5-year-old child. You're worried about them being a person still afterwards. Okay, what if you did it? What if they did it to your child, huh? Yeah, you'd fucking be calling for their blood. You'd be like, fuck that, da 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 da. Huh, hypocrite. Fucking hypocrite, that's all you are. Castrate them in every medical sense of the word. They're not people either. They're no better than the murderers, in my opinion. But again, it's all my opinion. But will you? No. Because the world goes, oh, human rights, human rights, human rights. They weren't thinking of human rights. They weren't thinking of their victims' human rights. No, no, they weren't. If they were, they wouldn't have done that. They would have been a good person. Instead, they had a specific desire, they had a specific urge, and they did it. They acted on it. Is that right? Hmm? No. No, it's not. Is it fair? Fuck, no, it's not fair. But y'all are more concerned about, oh, human rights, human rights, human rights. No, fuck that shit. That their rights went out the window as soon as they did it. Now, see what the FDA, medical professionals can do, uh, biologists, chemists, and whatever other fields out there. I'm perfectly okay with them coming out with true serum shit. I'm perfectly okay with them experimenting with it too, perfecting it, making it an actual thing, an actual thing. And I know. We'll get to the human trial stage for that. Well, who the fuck are we gonna use for that, right? We already have the people. We do. No doubt. Black sites and shit like that for military, CIA, DEA, FBI, CIA, da da da, all the letters of the alphabet have some shit like that. Terrorist, whatever. People we didn't even know existed and had been taken care of. And they're not human anymore. Again, I've mentioned that one earlier, not long ago even. So fucking use the animals and fucking use them. They're no again, they are not human anymore. They are lab rats. That's all they are. Test it, perfect it, get it out. And so when you have death row inmates or people to commit crime, human crimes and shit like that, you fucking use it. You make 100% certain that this shit fucking works. They're telling the truth, whatever you want to call it. And once it's all been documented and everybody's been, woohooed and ha-ha'd and shit like that, that's when you bring them out. That's when you show them to the world. And that's when you fucking do it. Video record it all, documented it, video recording, whatever you want to call it, and release that shit to the public too, so the public actively will believe and will get behind it. Full fucking transparency. That way nobody, well, there's always going to be someone, I should say, but you do full transparency, and you're going to have a majority of the public go, oh shit, they've actually done their work. They've done their job. They've done a lot. They've done it all. And then you fucking release that shit to the public, let them see the videos, whole 9 yards. And then you televise that shit when you inject them so people know, oh shit, this is really happening. You question them there. Make it a fucking public spectacle. Because, again, it's no different than going to the zoo or anything else like that where you're fucking watching animals go through a fucking show. They're putting them on display so you can have entertainment and everything. And again, human rights, human love, compassion, whatever, it's all bullshit. The more violent we see shit, the better and the more we love it. We see something like that, we're gonna fucking drool and just feel like we want more. And that's a fact. We're all a bunch of fucking violent things. The entire human race is. One of the best things we excel at and know how to do is kill ourselves. We could kill ourselves better than anything else on the fucking planet. We don't need the planet itself. We could do it just fine. On our own. Give us another 50, 100 years and everything. I have no doubt in my mind. We'll probably just have wiped out 90% of our own fucking race. that's the other thing. We quote unquote have allies. You know, every culture, every religion, every country. That's one. That's the fucking wording I'm looking for. Every country has, allies and everything. And that's the thing. Our allies, we don't share everything. No, 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 no. We don't tell them everything we have. We don't even give them a quarter of the information that we should. Because even though they're our allies, hell no, we don't tell them everything. We don't give them full transparency. They don't do it either. You know, so and these are our allies, bear in mind. Hell, we don't even tell the general public, or the general public isn't even told everything either. No transparency there either. And that's our own people. That's your own people, our own people. And we're not giving full transparency. It's like, oh no, it's better if you don't know. No, fuck that. No, no, no. That's not how that's supposed to work at all. But no, that's how you say it does, because it's easier on you guys. But, what are you gonna do? They they won't do it. So again, criminals, they're no longer people. Don't give them fucking human rights. Fucking all of you human rights activists, blah blah blah. Go fuck yourself. If you're that amazed by it and worried about human rights and everything for these people, how about we just take all these human rights activists and be like, oh, human rights, these prisoners are people and everything, and you do like a colony thing, right? Right? You build a colony, get it off, and you do have guards and everything posted, but you shove all these, 50, 75, 50 to 100 human rights activists, put them all in one fucking thing. Then you take same amount of murderers and everything, right? Because they're like, oh, they're human, da da da. And you say, okay, this is basically exactly like the outside world, right? What's gonna happen is you dump the murderers in with them, and you say, and they get a general announcement of, okay, this is like the outside world. Normal police response time, if someone can make the call, is something like 5, 10 minutes, right? And you tell them, you are free to murder them. You are free to kill whoever you want. However, if we get a call, we will respond in 5, 10 minutes and everything. But you are free to do whatever you wish during that time and even after that time, because it's not like you're just gonna say, oh, they've called, I better fucking stop now. No. So until you're recaught, quote unquote, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want. And see how quickly their tones change. See how many of these human rights activists survive, or possibly start killing off the inmates. Or Any one of those things. See how long it takes. And I'll bet you anything, their tones will change. I wouldn't even give it a week before the first killing happened. Everything else like that. And because of how people are too, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a human rights activist who made the first kill. Protection, safety, whatever the hell else you want to call it. Because, human rights, they're people that'll, yeah, their tone will change. Their tone will definitely change. Also, thank you very much for being here, listening to this rant, chat, whatever you want to call it. I will be working on gathering some special guests as well to join me in Insanity to talk about things. Some of the subjects I will bring up for them too, so they can voice their opinions. And there will be other subjects as well. No, this will not be kid friendly. Obviously not. If you don't like it, I don't really care. Don't watch anymore. Don't listen anymore. Don't pay attention to the next one when I do release it. Or if you have a subject you'd like to be broached on or talked about, or want to know our views, my views, whatever, leave a comment on what the subject is. I'll get to it. You know, I'll definitely make sure I get to it. I'll even mention, if you want, who made the comment about the subject and all that. That way you get credit for it too. If you don't want credit, I'll leave you out of it then too. Obviously, I'm going to be respectful. I don't want you to have to worry your precious little heads off about it. And yeah, if you like this, you want to see more, you want to hear more, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Again, leave a comment too. And with that, I will definitely see you later, folks. And hopefully next time we come back, we'll have a special guest, maybe two, couple, who knows. Find out next time. And let the insanity take hold.